Welcome, everyone. I wanted to take a moment to express gratitude to all of the ancestors who have been on this land and have tended this land and appreciated this land from the earliest times forward, including our neighbors, the Lummi and the Nooksack tribe and the other Coast Salish tribes, but also all the people at Ingrid's 80th birthday party who just in this time frame, in the last few decades, have come and turned a pole barn into a gathering space for people who are spiritually oriented. So I'm grateful for all of the people for all time bringing us to this moment. And I'm grateful to our guest musician, Cheryl Hodge, who's going to lead us in song. All right, so take it away, Cheryl.
All right, let's do this. Even now. Let's everybody stand. Let's stand. Even now I am able, even now I am free. Even now I can feel the Spirit washing over me. Even now I can find the love in everyone I see. Even now I am free. Even now I am healthy, even now I am whole. Even now I can feel the Spirit deep down in my soul. Even now I can choose a path of peace and harmony. Even now I am free. Even now I am free.
Take a moment to say hello to someone, maybe someone you don't know.
All right, everybody, let's all join together and sing My Soul is Welcome Here. Let's do it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed, yeah. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is, one more time. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Well, and now it's time for any children in our audience, if you feel comfortable, to come up and join your teachers, Nevin and Joe, and we're going to sing you out to your classroom. Good morning. Love those glasses.
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and the sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Well, hooray to be here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CSL Bellingham. My name is Ronna Biggs, and I'm your practitioner of the day. I'm also joined today by Joanne Allison, Wanda Maddox, and Cindy Clay. So thank you all for being here. So please settle in. Please do silence your cell phone as we get started today. And I'd like to invite you to join me in this opening prayer. And on this beautiful day, I know that there is one love and one light. It is divine and sacred. It is the love from which all has come. All different people, moments, every single step that has been taken to create this very expression of our individual lives and our one life together, connected with the Great One. And this is a beautiful day, and I claim it to be so. And in this moment, I allow an exhale. That sweet letting go and letting be. Making space in my body, in my mind, and in my heart for the soul of love to pour in, and that I may be an open vessel to be filled and to express and expand love in this world, within my own life and in this community and the world beyond. And so I breathe in love and I breathe out peace. God bless this moment, bless this life, bless this community. In deep gratitude, I too say thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is.
I release, I am consoled, I am a washing light, filling up my soul, and I will swim the silent tide till it's revealed to me it's revealed to me, I'm washed in the light. I sing inside my soul. I pray I'll be made whole. At times I'm troubled, I'm praying for strength. Then all at once I realize I'm free, and I release. I am consoled. I am a washing light, filling up my soul, and I will swim the silent tide till it's revealed to me. Till it's revealed, I'm already in the light. That's a song that I wrote. I'm presently doing my second spiritual album. It's been a long time since I've done one. I did all other kinds of stuff, and now I'm back into, I'm actually making a spiritual / gospel album, kind of mixing up all those things together. And, excuse me, I'm having a wonderful time at it. Today's message is about mystery, and when I found that out, of course, I was like, songs about mystery, Anita Baker, no, that's not the one. That's not going to work. But I did, of course, remember when I was 11 and 12 years old and was so into the Magical Mystery Tour album. So I have a little compendium, a little short mixture of Beatles songs. And you're free to sing along, although I will warn you, everything's a little bit shortened because it's a medley. But here we are, roll up for that mystery tour because today is about mystery. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll up for the mystery tour. Roll up for the mystery tour. I've got an invitation to make a reservation. Let's do it again. I've got an invitation. Roll up for the mystery tour. To make a reservation. Roll up, here we go. The magical mystery tour is waiting to take you away. Waiting to take you away. We were talking about the space between us all and the people who hide themselves behind a wall of illusion. Never glimpse the truth till it's far too late when they pass away. Try to realize it's all within yourself. No one else can make you change. And to see you're really only very small, and life flows on within you and without you. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you. It's easy. Let's sing this all. Let's sing it. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. No one you can be that isn't where you want to be. It's easy. Here we go. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all. Love is all you need. Love is all. Love is all you need. Love is all. Love is all you need.
You know, that was brilliant, actually, you know. I mean, even the George Harrison part, you know, it's like, wow. Thank you. Thank you all for doing that. Well, let's see. My granddaughter's here. Right there. Raise your hand, Nolina. Come on. There she is. Always special. She lives in Boise. So having her is great. And just as Cheryl said, my topic today, under the theme of the month, which is courage in uncertain times, is living in the mystery. And I know why I chose that, because it is a mystery, and it takes courage to actually be brave enough to forge a new way. So I wanted to talk a little bit about mystery in a different way. And I chose a quote from Frank Herbert. You know who he is? Dune. You know Dune? Okay. So the mystery of life isn't a problem to be solved, but a reality to experience. So mystery is around us and through us, and part of what draws most people to the spiritual path is at some point in their life they kind of go, what is this all about? Because this is more than it seems, but I don't exactly know. And many of us tried different approaches to the mystery, you know, different religious paths and different spiritual paths and different other paths that were spiritually oriented, and the mystery remained. So every once in a while, as a storyteller, a story will land, and I tussle with it a little bit because it's a story that maybe I've told a couple times, and yet this one wouldn't go away. And so I thought, all right, we'll start there because it really wanted to be told again. This is a story from the White Mountain Apache tribe, and it's an incredible myth and possibly a mysterious reality. So some of you have heard this before. It's one of Michael Mead's favorite stories, and mine too, so I can understand why it showed up today. The old people of the tribes would tell of a special cave where knowledge of the wonders and workings of the world could be found. Even now, some of the native peoples say that the cave of knowledge exists and might be discovered again. They say it is tucked away in the side of a mountain. Not too far to go, they say. Yet no one seems to have found it. Despite all the highways and the byways, all the thoroughfares and the back roads that crisscross the face of the earth, despite all the maps that detail and try to define each area, no one seems to be able to find that cave. That's too bad, they say, because inside the cave can be found genuine knowledge about how to act when the dark times come around again and the balance of the world tips away from order and slips towards chaos. Inside the cave, this is the part you may know, inside the cave there lives an old woman who remains unaffected by the rush of time and the confusion and shifts of daily life. She attends to other things. She has a longer sense of time and a deep capacity for vision. She spends most of her time weaving in the cave, where light and shadows play. She wants to fashion the most beautiful garment in the whole world. She has been at this weaving project for a long, long time and has reached the point of making a fringe for the edge of her exquisitely designed cloak. She wants the fringe to be special, wants it to be meaningful as well as elegant, so she weaves it with porcupine quills. She likes the idea of using something that could poke you as an element of beauty. That's an important part, just so you know. She likes turning things around and seeing life from odd angles. In order to use the porcupine quills, she must flatten each one with her teeth. After years of biting hard on the quills, her teeth have become worn down to nubs just below her gums. Still, the old woman keeps biting down and keeps weaving on. The only thing that interrupts her weaving work is when she goes to stir the soup that simmers in a great cauldron at the back of the cave. The old cauldron hangs over a fire that began a long time ago. The old woman cannot recall anything older than that fire. It just might be the oldest thing ever in this world. Occasionally, she does recall that she must stir the soup that simmers over that flame. For that simmering stew contains all the seeds and roots of all the grains and plants and herbs that sprout all over the face of the earth. If the old woman fails to stir the ancient stew once in a while, the fire will scorch the ingredients, and there's no telling what troubles might result from that. So the old woman divides her efforts between weaving the exquisite cloak and stirring the elemental soup. In a sense, she's responsible for weaving things together as well as for stirring everything up. She senses when the time has come to let the weaving go and stir things up again. Then she leaves the weaving on the floor of the cave and turns to the task of stirring the soup. Because she is old and tired from her labors, and because of the relentless passage of time, she moves slowly, and it takes a while for her to amble over to the cauldron. As the old woman shuffles across the floor and makes her way to the back of the ancient cave, a black dog watches her every move. The dog was there all along. Seemingly asleep, it awakens as soon as the old weaver turns her attention from one task to the other. As she begins stirring the soup in order to sustain the steeds, the black dog moves to where the weaving lies on the floor of the cave. The dog picks up a loose thread with its teeth and begins pulling on it. As the black dog pulls on the loose thread, the beautiful garment begins to unravel. Since each thread has been woven to another, pulling upon one begins to undo them all. As the great stew is being stirred up, the elegant garment comes apart and becomes a chaotic mess on the floor. When the old woman returns to take up her handiwork again, she finds nothing but chaos where there had been a garment of great elegance and beauty. The cloak she has woven with great care has been pulled apart, the fringe all undone. Okay. The woman sits and looks silently upon the remnants of her once beautiful design. She ignores the presence of the black dog as she stares intently at the tangle of undone threads and the distorted patterns. After a while, she bends down, picks up a loose thread, and begins to weave the whole thing again. As she pulls thread after thread from the chaotic mess, she begins again to imagine the most beautiful garment in the whole world. As she weaves, she visions new and elegant designs that seem to appear right before her very eyes, and her old hands begin to knowingly give them vibrant shape. Soon she has forgotten the cloak she was weaving before, as she concentrates on capturing the new design and weaving it into the most beautiful garment ever before seen. Let's try it. There we are. So mics are sort of like beautiful garments. They sometimes stop. So that story is important in a couple of ways when talking about mystery. So it tells the tale of all of us, right? And I don't know what part of the story reached out and grabbed you and caused you to run away with it. But often a story like that, there's a part that's just for you, even if you've heard it multiple times. And so pay attention to that part because it has something to do with where you are right now and what's needed. So the mystery, obviously, is something that's been experienced by the White Mountain Apache as well as all of us. And in the telling of that tale is an attempt to speak to the things that we deal with that are consistent and mysterious and different all at the same time. So the stirring of things up and the weaving of things together. And it seems to be that for sacred humans, this is the way of our lives, is both. And it's neither one or the other, but both and. And so I was fascinated by a story that I read, a true story, not a myth, about this crypt that they found, this tomb that they found, an ancient tomb, of course, aren't they all when you find them, in Italy, of all places. And within the tomb was an ancient skeleton. And on that skeleton's used to be forehead was a hammered gold rectangle with writing on it. And when they translated the writing, it said, "I am a child of earth and starry heaven, but my race is of heaven alone." And I thought, I mean, this is ancient writing, and in a burial mound with a tomb inside it. And so that was all kind of fascinating. But then I started focusing on the golden tablet, because what the archaeologists decided it had to be was a passport. It was a passport to the other world. And so it was deliberately placed there so that that person could be admitted into the other realm. And so I bring that story to you because actually we're living in that same reality of two realms. And they're not like distant, like heaven's there and we're here, but they're sort of smashed together, like the stirring up and the weaving together. And the one world is the world of the mundane, the world of where we live day in and day out and all the things we do in it. The second realm is always present, but often we live in such a way that half of our being is asleep to the presence and the power of the other realm that we're part of. And, famously, great leaders of all time from all religious traditions have spoken of this other realm, the realm of spirit. And it doesn't really matter in our tradition, which one we focus on, because they're all seeming to say the same thing, which is if we are able to find the golden passport in our own consciousness, maybe using a helper from another tradition, maybe using Allah or Jesus or Buddha or Moses, or the list goes on of these tremendous teachers of the other realm who all say in their own languages, we intersect with the world of spirit and the world of the mundane, and we are the place of intersection. And so, for us, waking up to that other realm is what the science of mind philosophy really speaks to. It's what we've explored through these decades of science coming into spiritual recognition, and spiritual recognition coming into science, and finding that there really is indeed a power that sacred humans hold. We don't know if other species hold this same power, but we do know that for us, we have the power to create different realities by deeply embodying the idea of them and holding that idea long enough for it to show up. This is what we call working with the law of cause and effect. And just like other things that you learned in middle school and probably didn't understand, like me, learning about the law of cause and effect is a mysterious but also provable kind of thing. I can remember trying to understand the law of inertia when I was first learning physics. And I was in 7th grade in a new school with pants that were too short and was very uncomfortable. And so let's just say it took me longer than 7th grade to appreciate that law. And so for me, studying the law of cause and effect has taken my ego forever to actually buy the whole thing. It's like, oh, well, that's just coincidence when I would focus on something and it would show up in my life. Oh, that's just another coincidence, and another one, and another one, and another one. So about 15 years into the science of mind philosophy, I was like, seriously, this is not coincidence. And so I set myself out once again to prove that it wasn't. And once again, the ego said, well, that could have happened because of this, that, and the other. But the other part of me that intersects with spirit said, no, I thought about that. I visualized that. I prayed into that. I saw myself in that. And no, it did not happen by coincidence. There's something happening here. And so what's important about that for me in a discussion about living in the mystery is that implies for me that there is something working with me, right? I mean, it's great to have the power to bring things into being, whether it's planting bulbs this time of year and seeing them pop up in the spring, or whether it's visualizing and praying with and thinking about and aiming towards something and then having it show up later. The power is not so much in the doing, it's in the being. Do you follow me there? That's the power. And so for me, as I've kind of stopped thinking it was a coincidence and really started paying attention, 2 things happened. I stopped being frivolous with choosing things. So, for example, I don't know if you've done this, but parking spaces at Costco. Anybody? Raise your hand, come on. Right? I mean, it's a nightmare. Or Trader Joe's, or wherever you go. And I stopped doing that because I thought, I think I want to use the power that I'm intersected with for things that are more important to me and to the world. It's not that that's wrong. That's not wrong. In fact, I think everybody needs to demonstrate parking spaces if you haven't tried this, because if your ego's like mine, you're going to think for the first 10 parking spaces, it's a coincidence, right? So you just keep practicing until you actually go, this just can't be 10 spaces at Costco or Trader Joe's. That's a bad one too, wherever. Practice, and then begin to realize, like I did maybe, that there's something working, that if I am more focused and more awake in that realm, then my ability to bring things into being is more conscious and more deliberative and less random. And so that's what began to happen for me. And, I had to choose what I thought was frivolous and what I thought was important. But over time, more and more, I began to realize that living in the mystery means that each person, including me, has a gift and a calling. I use that word knowing that it'll freak some of you people out. But, that we each were born into this life with that intersect embodied, and that we're actually here for a reason, a purpose. And that one of the deepest tragedies of anyone's life would be never actually finding what we ourselves were here to do and be, because it's really more a question of being, and then doing that. Because a lot of us were encouraged and supported in being something other than what our particular purpose in coming to Earth at this time is about. And I've known people that have spent their entire life doing what someone else thought they should do because maybe they were good at it, Like, my parents were accountants, remember? I'm good at numbers. But that's not what I'm called to do in a direct way. I mean, I do a lot of things around here that have to do with numbers. But no, my call was in a totally different place. Had I followed their instruction, I would be much wealthier. There's no question. But I wouldn't be much happier, I'm fairly certain. And so we all have that. And for me, the encouragement here of living in the mystery is to begin to question not only the intersect and to wake up to it more, so that more of our unique connection to spirit, to God, to love, whatever you want to call that, is revealed, but then to begin to ask the question of that intersect, and what am I to do? And sometimes, as you've heard me say over and over and over, sometimes it's just to do the next right thing. I'm teaching a class with Kalish called The Power of Awe. And in case you were sitting there going, well, I don't know what I'm here to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm 80 and I still don't know, or I'm 14 and I still don't know, whatever the age range. Here's a trick that I learned. And it's actually documented in the book, The Power of Awe, but I'll just tell you about it and then read you a story and we'll close up. There is a way to connect with intentional being that shines light on the intersection of spirit and the mundane within us. And it's a simple practice of just being present in a moment of beauty or a moment of intensity even. And so the practice that we're doing with the Power of Awe class is 3 times a day. We're actually seeking out moments that capture our attention, and then we're waking up in that moment. I'm paying attention to this, deepening it by waiting with it and looking at it deeply. And then exhaling as we sort of bring the experience in and expand our awareness. Sounds super simple, and it is. But what's been happening in our class, and certainly for Kalish and me, is that those 3 times a day turn into lots and lots of times a day. And the awe moments point the way to a particular focus or a particular call of our being. This is, in psychological terms, this is called organic intelligence. We have an organic intelligence. We were born with it, and it wants us to pay attention to what we've come to do and be. And so through these awe moments, you sort of get these glimmerings of, oh. So I'll read you one, because it's really sort of non-intellectual. Let's see if I've lost my marker here. I think it's way in the back. Oh, no, it's in my other book. That's right. This is a book by Wayne Muller called An Ordinary Miracle, because that's what these moments sort of feel like sometimes. Last month, our next-door neighbors and close friends put their little dog down to sleep. Our 2 children are close to the neighbors, and in particular to their family of dogs, whom they visit nearly every day after school. Bear was his name, and before it was time for the vet to come over, the children were invited to say goodbye to him. We all cuddled Bear, and the children began to wail. Everyone was crying. It was almost too much. But I was aware of not trying to change the children's feelings, just letting them experience the full sadness of losing someone they loved. As we walked slowly home, sniffling and heads hanging, a tangible sweetness came over the 4 of us, a shared vulnerability. It brought us just a little closer that day to ourselves and to each other. You could even say that we were happy in our sadness. The trick, I believe, is to recognize that tiny little spark of happiness in our lives, no matter how small it is. And then to take that little spark and recognize that it's enough. Doesn't need to get bigger or louder. The other night, while putting the kids to bed, I had a moment to myself on my daughter's bed while waiting for her to brush her teeth. She was singing to herself through the bubbles of her toothpaste. In the room next door, my son was talking to our dog. You know, it was just an ordinary moment, just like any other ordinary moment that could have been lost in the shuffle of the millions of moments in my lifetime. But this moment, for some reason, I thought to myself, this is enough. I'm happy. And with that thought, a load of concerns, angst, striving, and doubt just drained out with one huge exhale. This was written by Kelly Windorf. So what I'm speaking to is this ability that we have in these small moments to connect with our own intersection of spirit and our own humanness, and to be willing to kind of open more consciously to the power we've been gifted to create, not only the life that we were intended to come and do, but to create in the world places where people feel safe and can see, like we see, the presence of spirit in the works. There's always going to be a black dog. Always. At least so far as I can tell. There's always things that come and make life uncertain for me from time to time. And I can't say that I love the black dog, but the opportunity that having things unravel can bring is the opportunity to see new visions and bring them into being by means of the incredible power that we've been gifted. So why don't I do a prayer for that, and we will usher you into ice cream and cake and deviled eggs and all good things. So join me in knowing. Join me in knowing that we, right where we are, wherever we are, inhabit the realm of spirit as much as we inhabit the world that has been created in this historical dimension of ours. And so I choose in this moment for myself, and if you choose, you also can accept this prayer, to open more fully to the spiritual realm that I walk in, that I talk in, that I breathe in, sometimes unaware. And I choose now to open my mind, my heart, my eyes, my senses to seeing and feeling the presence of this divine in my actual life, not as an intellectual construct, but as a deep, rich, personal feeling of connection. As I do this more and more, what begins to happen is I am guided, lifted, and directed in ways of bringing my truest nature out into this world, which was the point all along. And so I'm grateful for opening and listening and allowing this direction, this lift, to happen in ways that seem coincidental at times, but I know now are actually the presence of spirit operating in and through me. That's amazing. That's mysterious. That's incredible. And I'm so grateful. And so it is. Thank you. So much to say. There we go. All right, we are going to invite Shelley and Steve, our ushers of the day, to come forward. And if you are able to make a donation to the center, oh, we're so grateful for that, really. It's all the money we get is people like you giving. So thanks ahead of time for anything you can give.
I just want to thank you ooh, for all you give to me. I just want to thank you. Ooh. Your love has set me free. Sing it. I just want to thank you ooh, for all you give to me. I just want to thank you. Ooh. Your love has set me. Ooh, I just want to thank you for all you give to me. I just want to thank you, Lord. Your love has set me free. One more time. For all you give to me, I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. Your love has set me free. Your love has set me free. Yeah.
Well, what would a service be without a few announcements, right? And so, first of all, this is our last day, although you could probably bring them tomorrow and it would be okay, to gather up the ingredients that the teen group needs to raise money to get themselves to winter camp. And so what we would love is if you have time today and you haven't brought anything in, there's a list of things that they could really use, including new mason jars, new lids and labels. But you could also bring a gift certificate from Fred Meyer or someplace like that if you don't have time, and they will use that money to purchase ingredients. They're going to be doing pre-orders for these beautiful, actually they're very beautiful hostess gifts, gifts to give to that relative you don't know what to give anything to. So they're going to pre-order so that you can purchase them once they put these together. And so you'll be hearing more about this fundraiser. And I want to thank all of you who have brought things. They have a whole bunch of stuff, but they sure could use a whole bunch more. Their goal was 300 jars. And so thank you in advance for bringing anything you can. And then next, this is also the time when we gather winter coats, hats, mittens, and gloves, scarves for people who are unhoused at this point. And this is part of our intersection with Interfaith Coalition, which is a group of spiritual communities and religious organizations who do things like this. So we have received so many coats and things, and so grateful to all of you because we had a real short window. Maybe that's what we need, I don't know. We had about 10 days to kind of get our, as my daughter says, poop in a pile, and and bring those coats in. So if you still are thinking you want to do that, you have until Tuesday, and then we're going to send them off to Interfaith Coalition. Next we have tonight. And tonight is not for everyone, but it is for me an incredible opportunity. Shantala is a quite famous group who do sacred chanting in Sanskrit. So that's the not for everyone part, but it is so amazing what they do. Benji is, do you know what a tabla is? It's a sacred instrument from India that's a drum-like thing. But for a tabla player to be called a tabla player, every single place they touch that drum, hit that drum, invite that drum, is a different sacred sound. And they spend years learning, as you might imagine, how to play the sacred Sanskrit sounds with the tabla. Benji is a person that's been doing it for so long that literally, if you watch him, sometimes his hands are blurred. It's incredible. And his sweetheart, Heather, is a devotee, and so she sings so sweetly with love for these beings that they are part of practicing with. So we also have some guests coming with them. So they start tonight at 7. Tickets are still available. You would go to the URL that you see up here. We also have it on our website. And you'll see me and Joe here tonight celebrating our 18th anniversary. Today is also special because we have the women's group here in the sanctuary from noon till 1:30, and in the classroom we have the men's group gathering same time. The men have decided to be in person only, just as the women have, and so you're invited to come. And certainly it seems like there'll be enough food to sustain us for an hour and a half. So we hope you'll think about it. And last but not least is this wonderful thing that Reverend Zena's doing. She is wanting people to learn about the philosophies so that they can intersect with spirit in a much more deliberative way. And so she's offering a class on Sunday, October 22nd from 12 to 3, and it's called Spiritually Speaking. And it's really an opportunity to not only learn, but to dialogue about spirituality and the tradition that we are part of. And so we'd love you to register either at the Ask Me desk, which is in with the food and the coffee, or by calling the office, and we'll get you signed up. And I think it's an incredible opportunity, especially for those of you who maybe don't have time to take a class, but you'd really like to know why I've been doing this since I was 18, being in the science of mind, and why Reverend Zena's been doing it for decades, and why so many of us keep coming back because we think it's so incredible. You'll find out. So I hope you'll sign up for that. Right now, why don't we stand if we're able, and we'll sing our way into the day.
2, 3, 4. Here we go, everybody. I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open by the truth I now embrace. My heart is open by spirit and by grace. Feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open by spirit and by grace. We are the power of love. 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 Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.